continue on.
It's still too early to give up. There has to be a way to get out of this.
Alphen.
Now what?
The starship, it's back online?
No, this is different. Something is pulling our ship in towards it.
That's not Lenagos, that's a different thing. That doesn't look like Lenagos.
We managed to get moving, but where are we?
It looks like Lenagos in here.
Do you think we might run into more remnants here? Or those red women?
Perhaps. Someone brought us here. The question is, who?
Woo.
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile. Still, why would anyone want to bring us here?
Hey, Shion!
If they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship. We should see where this path takes us.
Fair enough. It is true, they could have easily just attacked us on the starship. Out of reach.
No!
What the?
No, I'm...
Again,
serious. Beside,
actually,
before... Which is...
so...
It's fine. I appreciate... Until maybe it'll...
Yeah.
Lightening the mood.
Oh, come on.
It's
Yeah.
Staying.
Right, if we go back, what does that do? Okay, fair enough. Right, do we... So I'm gonna have a little look around for... okay, it'll just put me straight into a
Still can't get
cutscene.
over what we saw.
Yeah.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana, so I figured it... Still, though, I never would have imagined Rena...
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue.
Rena and Dana. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies that floated up, but to think that they lied to us, not only about the Sovereign and the Crown.
Dohalim.
Okay, who's the... That beam...
That's what it looked...
Perhaps it...
Which would mean...
Try to stay... What is it?
No, it's just so much from...
You made it you noticed?
Seriously, nothing up here? Fair enough, let's operate this. Ooh, low level, center level, upper level. We'll go to low level. Oh, okay. Center level? Okay, so we can't go to lower, we can go to central. I couldn't try higher. Well, that's because we need to be here. No, so literally only center level. Okay. Anything here? Just a bunch of flowers. Can't go out there. Yeah, literally just a bunch of flowers. Trees.
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that?
Oh. That definitely looks like someone's in it.
It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
Weird.
It doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk. What are you?
Hevrect 35.
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh goody, more riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The Red Women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasol, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's Great Spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this great spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it without question throughout the ages.
Okay.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this great spirit be the true sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this great spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Fair. It's
Maybe
always
not,
fair.
but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah, but
Let's assume that what Hevrect 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's Great Spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegus are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dana?
That'll be
Indeed.
right.
And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegus was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renaissance.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling success. However, recreating the Renis Alma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dana.
This is all happening because of me.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrecht 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegus has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
Others? Just how many of you are there?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Faisal.
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
Fair enough. Find the others. Oh. Yeah, I don't need examples. So Helvec 35. Does that mean we can go to the other levels now?
You can't
To be honest, the conversation went on for...
At the very least. That being said,
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dick.
But why?
It doesn't matter.
Right.
there is one other how the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of it.
Now that you mention it, and all that talk, Hevrecht 35 never even brought up the Renans once. And as for the...
Maybe it had a reason for keeping it silent. Let's find out.
Yeah, let's find out. We're not gonna be able to figure anything out here. Can I? No, I have to go to one of the other lower levels. Let's go to the upper level. No? Yeah, can go to the upper level. Watch this be where we need to go. Before then, can I go to the lower level? I can go to the lower level. Right, let's go to the lower level first. I'm assuming lower level might be good. No, lower level is where we need to go. And I can't even go. can I go back up to the upper level? I can. Okay, like, let's go to upper level first, because by the looks of it, lower level's where we need to go. Central level's where we found Helvik. So we'll go through here. See what's through here. Oh, they might need to go to both places. No, this is just a view of what's there. And I'm assuming complete different... Oh no, it's right there. Oh wow, we are so far away from them. Jesus. So I was saying we might be able to see Rana and Nola from up here. Yeah, we are so far away from them. He did say he was cut off from the Great Spirit. So clearly, the reason why is because they drifted quite a while, quite a distance away. It literally looks like the same ship as what Lenegus is supposed to look like. So maybe that's what it's supposed to be based on. They have chairs everywhere. Nice looking chairs as well. It's back here. Oh, was there no, that was an exclamation mark. There's an exclamation mark here. Measures astral energy fluctuations in Dana Arena. So this is the research facility most likely. It literally looks like stuff on Rena, so maybe Helcanquil, the Red Women, made Lenegus and Rena a thing. And due to that, everything was designed off these. Oh? There's people here?
Who are they?
What is it?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
Are you a Renan?
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
What do you mean you guess so?
The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can. But be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that we don't want to miss.
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevrect 35 when he mentioned that Overseer.
Most likely.
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant Dana and Rena, do you?
There isn't anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around here.
Well, there is only 3 people here.
Have you guys lived up here in Dig Faisal with Hevrect 35 for a long time?
Yes. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head just how long it's been, though. We regularly go into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten rather out of whack over the years.
Right.
Why are you all even here in the first place?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegus from the outside.
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location due to an accident.
Oh, it was terrible. Apparently there was some kind of accident, and when help never arrived, they presumed the entire facility had been destroyed.
And you've been working for Hevrect 35 ever since?
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the facility, but then it turned out the Overseer was there all along.
What do you mean?
The Helcanquil have the technology to cloak themselves around us Renans. As long as they don't do anything obvious, a Renan won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
Which would explain why Shion and I failed to notice the Red Women previously. Do they employ an astral art of some sort?
I haven't been able to scientifically confirm it for myself, but from what I understand, the type of cloaking they use is primarily achieved through mechanical means. In addition, they also used hypnosis devices and information control to get us to do what they wanted without being detected. It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary conflict. I have to imagine that's how Lenegus is still run.
But aren't the Helcanquil themselves controlled by the Great Spirit? If so, why aren't Renans affected by it in the same way?
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helcanquil, so they had to employ other means to manipulate us Renans.
Right. So
You
they...
act like this didn't affect you personally. If I was you, I'd be mad as hell at their deceptions.
I mean, sure, I was surprised when I first found out about it, but it happened so long ago.
Hevrect 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though. Why is that?
Who can say? My guess is it just got bored, or maybe even a little lonely.
Don't you want to go back home to Rena or Lenegis? Our ship is going to be fixed pretty soon. You could ride with us.
No way. If we went back after knowing the truth, they'd either just brainwash us or purge us outright. After all this time, there's nothing to be gained from going back. We've all agreed it'd be best to simply stay here and watch everything unfold instead. Things are going just fine with the Overseer. Not that it'll be around much longer. It can't extend its life any further. That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of the plan before it passes on, though.
Thank you for answering our questions.
Why? It said they wanted us to kill them. Did it not tell you that it wants us to kill them? Maybe not. Hello, you.
Can we talk to you for a few minutes?
Of course.
Sure. It's going to be a while before the two planets undergo their next shift, so I can talk until then.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helganquill.
You mean the Overseer species? I can't say I know much about them.
Well, for starters, where'd they come from?
Where else? From Rena, obviously.
From Rena? Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the Renans down there?
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first place.
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the Overseer explained everything.
Apparently not.
Please, tell us more.
Well, in a nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Danans by the Helganquill.
But if that's true, then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
There aren't, but there are Helganquill. That's what the name literally means in their language, people of Rena.
But what need could they possibly have to create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquill are on the verge of extinction, yes? In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all die. They gathered Danans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there. That's why we, as their descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
Let me get this straight. Are you saying Renans were originally created from Danans that the Helganquill kidnapped?
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use astral arts on Dana now.
Helganquill technology is truly amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less invasive than your conventional surgeries. They have these tiny machines that are practically invisible, which they insert into their bodies and—
Enough! You needn't tell us anymore.
How can you speak so calmly about all of this?
I guess I can see how, when viewed in a certain light, their ways may sound grotesque. But if you ask me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance. If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be it. Anyway, the Helganquill are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers just about everything worth knowing.
I see. Thanks for filling us in.
So we found out that the Renans aren't actually Renans, they're Danans with astral arts.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Dohalim.
Just when I think we're getting to the bottom of it all, some new revelation smacks us in the face.
Well, Lord, unfortunately that is what we like to
Then
call
let's hope
plot
this is our
armor.
last revelation for a while.
That is what we like to call plot armor, though. Right, we want to go on with that guy to talk to. This creepy
Do
dude.
you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegis to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient. Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy so it would be compatible with Rena.
I take it the solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
We have a winner! However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans in Helganquil that day. For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renis Alma, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dana, and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
And the crown contests began.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further maps. A new Sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were unfounded.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dana. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
Hevrecht 35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage. Is that true?
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes, and yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
Really?
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time. Who knows what shape their minds are in?
It feels like our whole world has been turned upside down. Is there anything we know that's still true at this point?
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
Let's take a moment to gather ourselves. I know all of this is a lot to believe and take in, but I think it's fair to say that we've found the answers we've been looking for. Does everyone agree?
Agreed. Though I'll admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Rena's great spirit being behind everything.
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured, it's all because of astral energy.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helganquil. Then the Helganquil created the Renans, who went on to invade and rule over the Danans.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Danans all along.
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Maybe too much, even. We should probably take it easy and rest our minds a bit. Why don't we all take some time to think things over, before we decide on our next move?
That's a good idea, Kisara. If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dana on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, we need to be completely sure of ourselves. So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger, so we should be okay. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's minds too.
Fair
Sounds
enough.
good. Let's go find them.
Fair enough.
Everyone's just gone their own way.
Everything we thought we knew.
Right.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgen too.
Yeah, that makes
No,
sense. Yeah.
Really?
So they're most likely fruits from Rena. But the thing is, if I do this, If I do this, I won't be able to get them because she's not here. It's a. Do I not make? I don't have sea bream. Oh, you're joking me. I needed to make sashimi as well. If I make ice cream, no, I'm gonna keep it. No, I'm gonna keep it. If I get them back, I'm assuming they're all. Yeah, they're all in here. Whoa, there's quite a few people in the next room. Whoa, there's quite a few people here all together. Oh, well, I'm assuming that's probably their rooms. Heal? Yeah, I'm fine with that. Hey, Kisara, what do you want to talk about?
You two.
He who?
I know that we're all struggling
What do you think about everything?
on some level, but if that thing's... As for the Renans,
How so?
coexistence between Danans and Ren... In my case, I think that's part... So...
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? But... at the same time...
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Danans have against the Renan, and if people...
Even just among the Danans, I think if we can find a way to get...
Well, first we can try.
Yeah,
It's no small...
right. In a worst-case scenario,
And we all have to figure.
That's an interesting way of put...
it's true. It won't be achieved, but I think it's a good... And now...
No, you're not gonna join us, okay. Hello, Rinwell.
Only because...
How are you holding up, Rinwell?
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Danon mages like my... But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Danons probably won't be...
It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. But even so? So I was thinking maybe, I don't know,
Renwell.
that great spirit word Dana's will feel...
Now that you mention it, Everett 35 and the other.
Maybe. But
We won't.
No, talk to all these researchers first. Then I'll talk to Dorhillam last. Because technically, as soon as you walk in, you see Law
Christ.
first.
You're not the only one.
Really?
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum?
It was really that bad.
Yeah, it was.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen. All I can remember thinking was,
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes. That was no way to live. But all this talk about other...
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, but that's when I finally got it.
In other words, if you let the
thing that's most important... All I want to do is protect the...
Not everyone is strong enough.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight. And you're strong. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you...
Yeah. It's like a fight to protect the...
Dorhillam, what you doing, my brother?
I apologize.
You mean hearing the origin?
Indeed. It's
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard.
Let's not delude ourselves. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned.
That's just part of being alive.
Well, to say the least. But enough.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dana?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from annihilating Dana, putting aside the untold state that
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis, or...
And at the same time, Danans are hardly likely to embrace There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hate and the victims of our rule.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed.
But things can still change if you have the...
Indeed. I have fully accepted the burden. On that note, I have...
Oh?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator, so that the Renans can live on Dan as the one and only blazing sword. I suspect the Danans may listen.
And I take it that you'll be the one?
Yes. However, the fact
I
of
like
the
that
matter
idea.
is that it will take time for Renans. Is it too much?
No.
No, I like that idea. Have two medias.
Too kind.
Have two,
That's
literally
not
have
great,
two
Alpha.
Then
kingdoms.
I'll ask once again.
Have two kingdoms
time
on that,
just
and
as
they just
first.
completely bin off Lenegus. Obviously, I
You don't even
understand
need
that
to
that's
ask.
probably
Thank
bad,
you.
but get rid of Lenegus. Lenegus is there, and
Well,
it's been used and
like
What
abused.
about you, Shion?
To be honest, I'm not
I
really
really
all that
think it
shocked,
should be
actually.
where you have two
I mean,
kingdoms,
I might be a
Danans and
Renan in the
Renans.
literal
You
sense,
have king,
but I've
like, obviously you
never
have
really
king
felt like
queen
one of
on
them.
both, and have medias.
Right now, it's
How do you mean?
because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dana. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragic. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from. She considered me, a Danan, as a real person. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff, she said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people. Even and especially before they...
Forgiving. So,
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future,
you know, you're right. People can.
it's not going to be easy getting past, but if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a I'm there with you, Shion. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud to live in. And I'm going.
Whoa there, Savior Girl.
Yes, I know. Don't worry.
I'm calling cap. No, I feel like she
Is
does.
everybody...
I am. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
Yeah, we will do
What
that.
are your thoughts,
Yeah.
Alphen?
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, then so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world. And it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy. But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Shion.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegus, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Shion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Shion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending destruction, then...
Shion's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
Maybe.
while the main body resides in Rena.
Shion.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's great spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegus were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
Yeah, we can do it.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Hevric 35 has been observing the great astral spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is.
Right.
Our minds are made.
Oh, wait, then I guess to do.
Even with first they
More important.
I just... Worst come...
wait.
In any case.
Right.
Right, before that... Why did we go down to the takeoff departure area? Like, why? Can we go back up to the lower level? I kind of want to go and eat the ice cream first. So at least I get that. It's not that bad, it's over. No, it is this way. Kind of want... I would like to do sashimi as well, but just so I can get it, but we don't have any sea bream. And it sucks. I did sell them all, so that's my fault. But I do know ice cream
Came out so...
gets us one of our emeralds.
I swear.
And whom...
No one.
Did you?
Huh?
Well, don't be...
You
It's none of...
Arguing.
Naive.
There we get one for... And then obviously I'll put back on the heal, because I kind of do want the heal. Oh, is that max AG as well? No, it's AG restoration. So what does this one give? Penetration. KO prevention, increased down damage, AG restored from critical hits, and AG restored upon enemy defeat. Fair enough. What is yours? An ambition fulfilled, haven't done that yet. Mixed feelings. So that yours is actually 2 subquests. I got a new one for Alphen. Deepened Alphen's bond with a fellow pipe. Sean. Their future... Oh wow, everyone's getting new ones. Deepened bond with Alphen. Oh, so, well, I mean, I'm going to eventually deepen everyone's bond. Silver Marlin, Shishimi. So she's still already got them. Sean, Mr. Crest. Ultimate ingredient. Fair enough. Yep.
This looks perfect.
Yeah, unfortunately I can't cook the sashimi, don't have sea bream. My fault, I did sell them all because I didn't think I'd need them. But to be honest, I mean eventually I'll be able to... what's that? I've got nothing. Eventually I will make everything because I am trying to get this fully done because I do want to play this game very well. It's very enjoyable. Oh, let's talk to this geese, see what his plan is.